Here we go. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. Can I read Amplifier? And we know that all that happened to us is working for our good if we love God and are fitted into his plan. Say amen. Amen. We are fitted into his plan. The Living Bible saying we know that all that happened to us is working for our good if we love God and are fitted into his plan. Say amen. Amen. You may be seated. Everything that seems to be a mess is a blessing in it. Everything that's a mess is a blessing. See, it come to be a mess before it come to be a blessing. How many of you know things that's all messed up, tangled up, something is in it, working it out? Now, you know when you're working something, it's a work. Amen? But only somebody can bring something good out of something bad is God. Now, that's a whole big mouthful. You may be in a mess and everything going tangled up and all tied up and you just don't know how you're going to make it. You don't see your way. God said, that's it. I made a mess so I can show you I'm God to bring you out. How many of you know there have been some mess you was in, but God brought you out of them? How many of you know you're in a mess now, but God's still going to bring you out? Come on now, you ain't got to tell nobody what mess you're in, because we can be in a mess, but God always brings us out of our mess. He allowed a mess to happen just to show himself great in your behalf. Say amen. 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 You know, some months ago, back in last year, 12, it's just a test. Yes. Anybody remember that? We all going to go through some tests and trials. But I said also, I remember saying, just pass it. Go ahead, just put in your heart and your mind, I'm going to pass this test. You got to think about it. I don't care what come my way, I'm going to pass it. When I was sick, I kept saying, I know I'm going to get up out of this bed of affliction. I know that I'm going to be all right. I know I'm going to get back in my church and preach. I know. Now, if I had gave up because of the way I was feeling, I wouldn't be back here. I might would be even dead because I had such severe pain. I was taking so much medication that even 2 Percocet wouldn't help my pain. That's how bad the pain was. And then they gave me another stronger pill, one little pill. I don't know what that dope was, but it sure made me feel good. I mean, that dope pill was all right. My daughter said, Ma, you don't need to keep telling you don't get addicted. I said, just give me the pill, girl. Give me the pill. I don't care. I said, I'm not going to be addicted, but right now this pain is too rough, and I ain't trying to act like I ain't going to give me my pill. Just give me my pill. I'll start taking the pill before the time. I say, where the pill at? I knew if I got that pill, I'd be feeling a little better. It didn't take away all the pain, but it sure helped. How many of you? Don't go out there trying that pill now. When you're in pain, the enemy going to try his best to make you feel like this is it. I'm just going to use the pain right now, or whatever. This morning at 3 o'clock, God woke me up, but the devil jumped on me. You know what he said? And I couldn't get back out to sleep till late. He said to me, you know, Joseph went to jail for something he didn't do. And when you go down there on the 26th, they're going to lock you up too and put you in jail for something you didn't do. And I told that devil head off. I can't tell you everything I said, but I remember what the Lord said. If God be for me, who can be against me? So I started quoting scriptures all through until I went off to sleep. I went off to sleep quoting scriptures. So I realized that everything you go through, Satan is going to make you feel that it's the worst before you get the best. So if you're going through something right now, it just seems to be a mess in your life, just look up to heaven and say, I know that this is going to be all right. Something great getting ready to happen. When things get all tangled up and get all messed up, that's when God steps in and make it right. How many of you believe that you're coming out the mess that you're in right now? How many of you know you're going to pass every test that come your way? It doesn't matter what you're going through. God is there to bring you out of it. Can't nobody bring you through these things but God. Just look at somebody and say, I know I'm coming out of this. It's your faith. See, if you believe it, God will bring you out. If I had to believe that I was going to die, I would have been dead. And let me tell you something about how the enemy still works. I've been back in the hospital 4 times since December. And each time I go in, I'm coming out better. The last time I went to the hospital, I said, that's it. I ain't going back to nobody hospital. I said, I'm coming out of this thing. I'm okay now. And every day I keep saying it to myself. and believing that I am healed and that I'm stronger. Every day I'm getting stronger and every day I'm getting better. But see, it's your faith. The doctor's going to tell you this and tell you that, but you got to hold on and believe God, because God always working something out for your good. See, God is in it for your good. How many of you love God? If you love God, God said, I'm working it out for your good. I got a purpose in this thing for you. And before you can receive the blessing, you're going to receive all kind of... The devil shooting talks at you. Say, I can't get this way, I'm going to get it that way. If I can't get... How many of you know you done paid bills and you're tired of paying bills? You're sick and tired of paying bills. All it's going to take is one big blessing to come along that God done worked out to bless you. Somebody getting ready to get one big blessing that's going to take care of all your needs. Everybody looking at you thinking that you're so bad and you're so down and low. Even you yourself they thinking. But God said, you just don't know. You don't know the plans that I'm thinking towards you. I'm getting ready. Somebody need to give me some praises up in here. Give God some praises what he getting ready to do. Because he done work some things out. It's just like, I mean, on the farm, they got these old, well, years ago, I don't know how they do it now, but they have these old things churning milk until the butter come up to the top. And I was thinking this morning how, when I used to go to my aunt's house, how they take that old thing and churn and just go turning. And they turn it until the butter come up out the milk. And I thought about how God is turning. He's turning. He's bringing something good coming to the top. Look at somebody and say, God bringing something good to the top for me. I don't know about you, but I believe God getting ready to bless me. I believe God getting ready to bring something to the top. And everybody going to see what God doing in your life. If you believe, how many of you believe? He's working it. He's working it. He's working it. Look at your neighbor and say, he's working it. Well, how you going to get out? I don't know. But God is working it. How is this going to happen? I don't know, but God working it. See, as long as he's working, that's all that matters. Let me go ahead. I got some stuff here. I wrote down some things. God is ready to bless those that have faith and love him. Why would the Bible tell us don't worry for nothing if he ain't got a plan? When he said don't worry, he mean that. He wants you to put all your trust, confidence, and rely on him. He may not come when you want it, but he's on time. That's why I keep telling people, let him work it out for you. You back off. Just back off and say, you know what? I'm giving this to you, God. I ain't going to go through this no more. I'm more anxious for something. I'm trying to work something, and it ain't working for me. God said, why did I say that you had to work it? I'm the one working things out for your good. There is nothing I'm going to bring evil upon you. Those things that you're thinking is bad, it's going to turn to be a blessing. The woman that, let me tell you something. I love the way this woman say, the God said to her, bake me a cake. And she had them 2 little sticks. And she said, I can't bake you a cake when I'm being ready to bake a cake for me and my son. This is all we have, and we're going to die. He said, no, you bake me a cake first. See, God wants us to give him first preference. And he'll take care of all your needs. How many of you know if you sow seeds today, you believe in God for something, he already done took care of you. You just want to see where your heart is at. Is you going to sow and do what he asked you to do? That woman believed the man of God. And because she believed the man of God, her and her son had food. They was able to live and have food. A little pot of oil, woman. All I got is a little pot of oil in the house. The man of God told her, send your son out and get some vessels. And if she had kept on getting more vessels, the oil stopped when there wasn't no more vessels. See, believing God and believing the man or woman of God, that's how your blessing come in. God take a person and use them to give you a blessing, to tell you what to do. But if you're going to not believe, well, I don't know that God's talking to Bishop Barbara up there. Don't do it. I'm in a place where God placed me to use me to give you what he wants you to do. It's not me, it's the God in me. I say it's not me, it's the God in me. Now God have given me some things to say, and then I back up and say, God, look, is that you or is it me? And God will confirm it. I'll be like, God, I need to know this you. And out of nowhere, I get a confirmation, like I got a confirmation about the seed this morning. And then Shonda play is working out for your good. So everything tied up to what God had given me. See, God going to confirm. I say God going to confirm what he... God is not going to tell you to go somewhere and do something if he don't back you up and give you a plan to go ahead and do it. Now, before you get there, all hell going to break loose. But God says, you're going to believe me, you're going to have to keep moving on because it's me. I have this plan for you. I done worked it out already. You don't know how it's going to work, but I'm already... I was in it before you was born. But you went and did what you wanted to do. Didn't believe that I spoke to you through your woman servant here. But because you did it, I'm going to still back you up. How many of you know God still backs us up and still brings us up? Why? Because he loves us so much. Because he said, I cannot let my plan go down without blessing you. Look at somebody say, I done messed up big time, but he still loves me. How many of you love God? If you love God, he's working something out according to his purpose. I messed up big time, but I ain't telling you what all I did, but I messed up and he's still blessing me. I say, I messed up, but he's still blessing me. I say, you messed up and he's still blessing you. Why? Because you love God. If you love God, he's not working it. I'm going to bring something out of this situation. Look at somebody and say, I'm coming out. This situation, I'm coming out of it. People talk about you, but it's okay. Let them talk. You just keep on loving God. A mess is something only God can clean up. I'm so glad that he's the greatest housekeeper, heart regulator. He's a healer. He's a whatever you want him to be. He's a mind regulator. Let me go on. I'm going on. Okay. Turn your Bible to 1st and 2nd King. 2nd King, I want to read this to you. Ooh. Wow, 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 wow. See, this woman, and I just thought, I'm going to get ahead of myself, but her husband was a prophet. And I'm going to read a little here. And I want to start reading at chapter 4. I'm going to read verse 1 here. And there was a certain woman of the wives of the sons of a prophet until Elijah sent. Thy servant, my husband, is dead, and I know thy servant did fear the Lord. And the creditors come to take unto him my 2 sons. Now listen, if you back up here, you would think this prophet had prepared some things that when he died, his wife would be taken care of, and the 2 sons. But I mean, you know, the person you think is preparing for things that happen, preparing for if something happened, their family to be taken care of. So many times some people don't take out insurance and they don't have insurance when somebody died, they can't bury, blah, blah, blah. This woman, her husband was a prophet. And the creditors, she had debt. And the creditor was coming to take her 2 sons because she had no money to pay. You mean tell me that prophet didn't take care of him? Listen, God still stepped in. He still stepped in with us. They still get buried some kind of way. Amen? So he said to her, verse 8, Elijah said to her, what shall I do for thee? Tell me, what has I in the house? And she said, thine handmaid had not anything in the house save a pot of oil, just a pot of oil. He told her, take that pot of oil. Send your sons out and go borrow some, get some vessels. Go borrow some vessels. And then they went and borrowed all the vessels they could. But see, when they borrowed all they could, you read verses, and it came to pass when the vessel was full, that said unto her, son, said unto her, son, bring me yet a vessel. And he said unto her, there is not a vessel more. And the oil stayed, and it stopped right there. I do believe in my heart, when you keep on pressing on, and then when he got 2 more vessels, that oil would have kept running, because God provided the oil. I said he would have provided oil to go in the vessel. See, God is not going to give you something that he don't take care of it. God said, go. If they had borrowed more, I would have kept the oil steady running. But God still was in the midst of it. Listen what he did here. And then the same, and she said unto him, said unto the man of God, and he said, go sell oil and pay thy debt and live, thou and the rest of the kids. They were able to live for the rest of their lives because after the leftovers was enough for them to keep living. See, God ain't going to give you just enough to make it on. He give you enough to pay your bills and have some left over. Come on now, look at somebody and say, when God bless you, he don't just give you enough. He give you more than enough to be able to take care of your needs and have some left over. Look at somebody and say, that's the kind of God I serve. Say, that's the kind of God I serve. Naaman was another one. The king of Syria wrote a letter for the king of Elijah and said, that's in chapter 5. When you read it, he says, I pray that you come and take care of my servant, Naaman. So Naaman went and with the letter, but how many of you know sometimes what we want the man of God to do, the man of God don't do it our way. He had another plan. He told him to come on. Why don't you come out and lay your hands on me? Why don't you come out and speak over me? And God says, the man of God knew he was going to get angry. How many of you know God know where we at? He know we're going to get angry sometime when we don't think he should do it this way. How many of you know some people don't turn away from God because God didn't do what? How many of you know that? Come on now. Had a young man say he got very angry with God. He stopped coming to church and everything. But then when he went to jail, he said, God, I be in church every Sunday and every Tuesday. He testified that Tuesday. He said, I told God, I'm going to be in church from here on. Because he had to go to jail. He said he had never been in jail. He got in there he said, I'm just going to pump up, I'm going to work out. He said, but that working out wasn't doing it. He said he was in that jail. He said, God, if you get me out, he said, I'll serve you. See, God got a plan. Sometimes things are happen and we don't understand why. But I ain't going to jail. I back up that one now. But I can't even imagine. You ain't saying nothing but you don't. I don't imagine. Amen. But getting back to this here, this woman did exactly what God said, and her oil never ran out. She had more than enough. Some of you now thinking about that $1,000 that you have, and you're trying to hold on to it. And if God say give it up, would you give it up? Oh, you're saying yeah now, but will you give it? The devil going to show you every need that you need that $1,000 for yourself. So don't sit here and lie in the church. Yeah, you know. you know. I'm glad for the honest people. You know that $1,000 is going to help you with some things you have to do. And you sitting up in my face in God's presence saying, yeah, I give it up. You ain't giving it up. The devil going to show you every need for that $1,000. It's like the man had a beautiful home. And the man of God spoke to him and said, give up your house. He said, where am I going to go? Me and my 3 kids. Me and my kids, where we going? He said, give it up. He had a beautiful home, a really beautiful home. And God kept dealing with him. He dealt with him for a while, and then he started dealing with the wife. The wife didn't know how to tell the husband. Finally, they came together and said, I have something to confess, God spoke to me. I don't know how you're going to receive it. The man came to the wife. God spoke to me and said, give up the house that we live in. She backed off. She said, he told me the same thing. They gave up the house to this man that was sitting in church. When they gave that house to him, they went and got them a room in the hotel. The husband and wife said, it's taking a lot of money to pay for this here, and we got our own home. Didn't know that the same man had lost everything that he had. By him losing everything, he was a great contractor to build $1 million homes all over. He got up on his feet. God restored it back to him. He went and built this man a house twice as big as the house that he gave him. So when God tells you to give up something, he wants you to give up to get something better sometime. Come on now. Sometimes you got to give up something to get something better. Come on, I'm saying that to you. Some of you just hold on to that $1,000, and then God said, give up that $1,000. You won't give it up because you think all the things you can do with that $1,000. Let me move on. I say that for free. The same chapter 4. Let's go to 35 here and see what happened here. I really want to read 32. And this is when Elijah raised the woman's son back alive. And verse 32 says in chapter 4, and when Elijah was coming to the house, behold, the child was dead, and lay upon his bed. His mother took him and laid on that bed. He went in and shut the door upon this twice and prayed unto the Lord. And he went up and laid upon the child and put his mouth upon his mouth and his eyes upon his eyes and his hand upon his hand. He stretched himself upon the child, and the flesh of the child waxed warm. And when he returned and walked in the house then he returned and walked in the house to and fro and went up and stretched himself upon him. And the child sneezed 7 times. And the child opened his eyes, and he called Gehazi and said, "Call this Shunammite." So he called her, and when she was coming to him, he said, "Take up thy son." And she went in and fell at his feet and bowed herself to the ground and looked up, took up her son, and went out. Let me tell you something. These are the hours that you're going to have to believe God, because it's getting hard out there. God getting ready to do some supernatural miracles. When I was reading how Elijah went and laid flat up on that boy, and he put his mouth to his mouth and his eyes to his eyes, and breath came back up in this child. Let me tell you, somebody here today looking for some great miracle to happen. But it's going to be a miracle that you least expect to happen. That's why I brought this up. Because, see, so somebody laying up on you, but the Holy Ghost on Elijah so powerful that even that when he died, and they threw a dead man in his grave, and the bones came back alive. Come on now. So when the Holy Ghost is power upon you, God can work wonders through you. See, I know God working in me something. I ain't nowhere about to die. There's some work working in me that I don't even know about. Something changing in me that I don't even know. It's a spirit on me now like never before. I feel like if I lay hands on somebody dead, I feel like I can call them back to life. I feel something different in me now like never before, because you know why? Because I'm sold out for God. I feel like if I lay up on somebody's body that's about dead, I feel like they can come back. I feel like something will happen in them. I'm talking about in the spiritual realm. Come on now. I'm not talking about you looking at in the spirit, but I'm talking about in the spiritual realm, not in the physical realm. But God gonna use, not only he'll use me, but he'll use you just to show his great and mighty power. How many of you know God getting ready to bring you up out of some mess and show himself great in your behalf, that people will see Christ in you? He does miracles. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. He's a miracle working God. He just needs somebody willing and able to obey him. How many of you willing and ready to obey God? If God say give it up, let it go, let it go. Stop trying to hold on something that ain't going to mean you no good. I do believe that everything that you and I have gone through, and whatever you are going through now, is working out for your good. Before you can go to the next level, you have to pass some tests. Passing tests. How many of you hate exams when you got to take exams? You study all night and still get in there, you're like, oh. And it seems like your mind go blank. You can't remember nothing you studied. Well, I ain't been so long in school, I'm about to know better. No. There will always be things going on in your life that would be some hard tests. So say some easy tests. There are going to be some tests that you don't even know they was coming to be a test. There are going to be some things that you don't realize, why me? You're going to say, why me? Why is this on me? I just got out of this, now this is happening. I got out of this, and then this is happening. But you're passing. Look at somebody and say, but I'm still passing. I'm still believing God to bring me through everything I go through. So look at somebody and say, I'm coming through. Everything that I'm going through with, I believe God to bring me through it, because he's working something out of this bad situation for something good. Bad brings good. I say bad brings good. I'll say it again. I say bad brings something good out of it. Because God will take the bad situation and work it out and make it good just to show himself great in your behalf. God is doing something. Oh, Lord, I don't know it's a damn thing. God is doing something in your life, in my life right now, because you're going through something and you don't understand. Why is it so hard? I do this, I do that, I do that. I heard somebody say, I sow seeds and still things getting worse. Praise God, because it's getting ready to get better. If it getting worse, that means God getting ready to do something. The devil mad because he wants you to think God ain't doing it for you. But God's doing it for you because you obey God. You would never sow that seed if you didn't obey God, didn't believe God to do it. We bought land here and land now, and somebody just sitting there. We paying taxes on it, carrying the grass, and they suing me for the grass. And I'm saying, God, you give it to me. Now what you going to do with it? Whatever is going to blow up is for real. God getting ready to do something. Because, see, I'm going to pass the tests. Because I'm so happy to still be alive to see what he's getting ready to do. See, you think it's easy on me? Because you don't even know the half that I go through. I don't say nothing. I don't murmur. But, hey, I know a God that's well able to do exceeding and abundant all I can ever think of asking for. I know a God that's supplying all my needs right now while I'm standing up, and there's a breakthrough coming through. Stand to your feet, everybody. You got to believe God, even though my worst time is going to be my best times. The worst bring better. How would I never know if I didn't go through? How would I ever know that God could do it if I didn't trust him and believe that he could do it? I got to believe him. I said, I got to believe him. He's going to work it out for me. He's going to work it out for you. Look at somebody and say, you already done it. See, for we look at the things not that we see, but look at the things that we don't see. Because the things you don't see is for eternal. If you had to see it, then you have to have hope to believe that he could do it. See, that's where it's at. You got to believe God for everything. And that's why it's so good while you're doing, waiting on him. Be about his business. Be about doing the work he has you to do and see what he bring you through. I will go on. I didn't realize the time is here. It get good sometime when you get to preaching and God just bringing words out in you that, you know, you really need to hear. There's some people really low in spirit. And God wants you to build your spirit up and know that he's well able to do what you asked him to do. He will not leave you, nor forsake you. God loves us too much. When you cry, he cried. When Israel was over there in Egypt and he heard they cry, they're being afflicted. God can't stand when you cry. He take your tears and save every tear. They bring you double blessing. So if you've been crying and God heard that cry, you're getting ready to be blessed. Just stay with God. Don't pull away from him. Just stay with him. Whatever it takes you to do, stay with him. Hebrews say he get no pleasure when we pull away from him. Be patient waiting on him, for his promises surely come. He's getting ready to bless you with whatever he promised you with, but you need a patience while you're waiting on it. Waiting patiently for his promise to bring it. You can't go ahead of him. That's why he said in Hebrews, if you wait patient for it and be about doing his will, not your will, but his will, and forget about, you know you want these things, just be about God's business.